You are listening to Erik Waddell Pause. We pause for a second or two. This is episode 20, Relevance of Pausing. In these times, when we are living our lives, both in the real world and online, there is this kind of energy or mood throughout everything, telling us to do things, to act. There is this narrative that doing something, whatever it is better than doing nothing. So this is episode 20, and I wanted to take the opportunity to address this even-numbered episode by addressing pausing in itself. Pausing is my core concept. Pausing is at the core of everything I teach. Without pausing, no other emotional skills can be applied. I wanted to dedicate today's episode to speak about what is the relevance of pausing. There is not a lot of pausing going around right now. And it is a good critique to ask, why should we pause now? Of all times, why should we pause now? And what should we pause? What is this pausing you're talking about? When I speak about pausing, it is not something separate from action. When we take action, we can take action in a skilled way or an unskilled way. We can be clumsy, or we can be what is the word in English? Precise. When we have immense energy in our bodies, when we can feel our bodies almost shaking with energy, with unrest, with anger, with defiance, all of these emotions that we now share in these unruly times. This energy has to go somewhere. We have to act. Our bodies, the energy in our bodies, prompts us to act. It must happen. It is inevitable. So, when you listen to me speaking about pausing, I want you to know that the energy you are feeling in your body, it is real. And it is truthful. And you must act upon that truthful energy. Where does pausing fit into all this? Maybe if I use a corny metaphor, a dorky metaphor, or I don't know, maybe you don't think so. Imagine that you are a race car driver. You're driving this super powerful car with massive energy. And your goal is to make your way around the course as effectively as you possibly can. Your goal is to find what race car drivers call the apex, which is a fancy word of saying the most optimal route, the most optimal line within this course. If you want to win a race car race, if you want to find this apex, this most optimal line of action, then when you're approaching very steep curves, very sudden curves, what do you have to do? You have to brake. You have to hit the brakes. And you have to hit the brakes at the exact right moment and with the exact right force to decelerate in the exact precise manner so as to hold your apex and stay in the lead. I am not asking you to minimize your energy at all. I want you to be immense in your energy. I want you to be angry. There is a lot to be angry about right now. I want you to own your anger. I want you to recognize the full power of your race car, so to speak. I want you to own every horsepower you got. But what I am telling you is that if you want to win the race, if you want to keep that perfect line, then you need to learn how to pause. You need to learn how to decelerate at the right time, in the right way, when the steep curve is coming up ahead. This is what pausing is. Pausing is the ability to develop control and craftsmanship over your life energy. And I am becoming animated now when I'm speaking. And I'm doing this on purpose, so you will get the idea. If you want to be a powerful person, if you want to get in touch with your full energy, then you need to know how to pause. If you are listening to this podcast, you will notice that I often go silent. Sometimes I go silent for an uncomfortable long time. Maybe you have even stopped one of these podcasts thinking, who is this guy? Why is he pausing so long? What is his problem? What is wrong with him? And my problem is that with great energy, with great intention, with great truth, you also have to be able to know when to slow down and when to reel in your own massive energy. In your daily life, there are a number of situations when you are approached by someone and you can feel how the situation accelerates. You can feel yourself losing your footing. You can hear yourself saying things you didn't plan on. You can hear the tone of your voice sounding different from what you intended. You can hear yourself breaking promises or making promises that you did not intend on making. These situations are due to a lack of pausing. If you knew how to pause and practiced at it regularly, then these kinds of situations would be fewer and lesser in their influence over your life. In fact, I argue that in order to be able to pause effectively in difficult situations, you have to recognize and own the full extent of your energy. Pausing is not to be passive. Pausing is not to diminish ourselves. Pausing is not to give up our spot to someone else. Pausing is the opposite. Pausing is to stand our ground. Pausing is to be skeptical. Pausing is to be confident enough to be open to the best course of action. Pausing is to be able to support someone when they are taking a key step. Pausing is the brakes in our car. Without brakes in your car, you wouldn't think about putting any gas. What do you say in English? You wouldn't be thinking about going full throttle if you didn't have any brakes. Going forward in this podcast, I will speak more specifically about different difficult situations. I have put together 5 different kinds of situations, like 5 archetypes, 5 typically significant situations where we really need the ability to pause. And pausing looks somewhat different depending on what kind of difficult situation we have in front of us. Pausing can be a number of things. It's not just one thing. When pausing, we have 2 truths in mind at the same time. The situation we are in is specific, so pausing is quite different from situation to situation. At the same time, there is this sort of quality to pausing that is universal for every situation. But I will not go into detail with this because this will become more clear as we go on and as we get to know the concept more fully. The last thing I want to say in this episode is something I've already said, and I will say it again because it's so important. You need your full energy. And if you want your full energy, you need to be able to pause. that was it. What I wanted to say today. Do you have any question or something you're thinking about?
No.
Thank you.